All right, Shalom. First, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Machak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. Real quick, all right. I was watching this video here on RT, okay, and this man Peter Schiff, okay, this economist, you would say, all right, he said something very key, okay, and I caught it, so I'm gonna just play it real quick, and just listen with a very close and spiritual ear, all right. Which what he said, we've been saying that, all right. But let's just play it.
They weren't successful. I think they had to abort the attempt. So that tells you.
You just said one of the worst, or I think you said dangerous places to keep your gold is in the United States. I don't think I've ever heard anybody say that. Could you can you extrapolate on that a little bit for us?
Well, I mean, I think there's a lot of political risk here because I do think that we're headed for a major currency crisis. I think the dollar is going to collapse, and so that's going to take down the U.S. economy. Our entire way of life has been built on the privilege of issuing the world's reserve currency. And when the dollar loses that status, I mean, all hell's going to break loose here in the U.S. And, I don't know what is going to happen. But we could take desperate measures, and of course we could have socialists in control of the U.S. Economy if the socialists have the White House and they have both chambers of Congress. So who knows? I mean, they could declare some kind of national emergency. The U.S. has a history of confiscating gold in the 1930s. We defaulted on our obligations to pay gold. Once upon a time, we told the world if you had $35, we would give you an ounce of gold. That was an IOU. It was like a commitment, like a bond. And then we defaulted. So we've done desperate things in the past when our backs were to the wall. So if we have real economic chaos here, the U.S. might just nationalize or seize any gold that it has custody of. So I would want to take that chance if I was a foreign government.
Peter Schiff.
All right, you see now you got this guy's quick to try and cut him off, but what he was saying is reality. Okay, it's truth. All right, he said, now I'm gonna run it back.
There's places to keep your gold is in the United States. I don't think I've ever heard anybody say that. Could you extrapolate on that a little bit for us?
Well, I mean, I think there's a lot of political risk here because I do think that we're headed for a major currency crisis.
He says we're headed for a major currency crisis. All right, which we've been saying for the longest, man. The American economy is gonna collapse. Now, you see. You really what should be going through your mind right now is looking at, you have the whole thing going on with the Deutsche Bank, okay, and then you have the Feds lowering interest rates simultaneously, okay, out of nowhere. The American economy is not doing good, okay. They're lowering interest rates because they're trying to hide the basically the air that's deflating from the balloon. The economic balloon that they have blown up. All right. And I'll read it in this quick article real quick, man, because Salakia, hey, this man is not lying. All right. There is going to be a currency crisis. The dollar is damn near worthless. And once the American economy collapses, it's going to throw the global economy into chaos. All right. The upcoming American economic collapse is going to lead to the global economic collapse. And that's going to cause chaos in all these other countries because an economic collapse leads to chaos. All right. And that's why he said all hell is going to break loose in America. And they might just declare national emergency, which Trump already did. All right. But guess what? It's going to be happening worldwide, man. OK, and he knows this. We know it, too. All right. But I'm going to just play it.
I think the dollar is going to collapse.
The dollar is going to collapse. Right now, he's not over here. We're not out here sitting him down, telling him to go out here and go say these things, breaking down precepts to him. No, he's telling you this because he's an economist. All right, he studies these kind of things. All right, so and it's not just him, but you have other economists saying this. All right, this isn't rhetoric. This isn't a myth that we're making up. We're telling you facts. All right, this is prophecy. All right, it's been prophesied, man. This place is going down, man. Quick.
And so that's going to take down the U.S. economy. Our entire way of life has been built on the privilege of issuing the world's reserve currency. And when the dollar loses that status, I mean, all hell's going to break loose.
You hear that? When the dollar loses that status, all hell is gonna break loose. Okay? All hell is gonna break loose because a lot of these other, why do you think Russia, China, India, these other nations are shifting away from the dollar? They're not dumb. They can see it, man. But these American people, oh, I'm about that paper. You know, I'm grinding. I'm grinding for that. Most High is about to bring all. That's why the scriptures tell you, all right, when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them. They're lowering interest rates. So you thinking, oh yeah, this is good. Let me go get some stuff, whatever I may need. Hey, you got the stock market hitting all-time highs. Okay, that is not a good sign. All right, you thinking, oh no, that means we're doing good. No, 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 no. All right.
Here in the U.S. And I don't know what is going to happen, but we could take desperate measures, and of course we could have socialists in control of the U.S. Economy if the socialists have the White House and they have both chambers of Congress. So who knows? I mean, they could declare some kind of national emergency. The U.S. has a history of.
You hear that? They can declare some sort of national emergency, and when that happens, man, you just forget it. All right, forget it. At that point, it's just over. Okay. Now I'm gonna upload a video. Okay, I'll re-upload a video. It's basically a simulation. All right, of the first 12 hours of economic collapse. All right, and you see how quick the chaos and panic spreads throughout the American community. All right, the cities. But first, let me read this article real quick. All right, and then we'll get some precepts on that. So this is RT News. It says U.S. economic bubble bigger than before 2008 crash. Peter Schiff tells RT boom bust. Now this was published July 11th. All right, that's today. It says the U.S. Federal Reserve leaning towards rate cuts indicates that it's trying to keep the air from coming out of the stock market bubble, according to Euro Pacific Capital CEO Peter Schiff. So imagine that. You have a balloon that's deflating and they're trying to keep the air in there, but they can only try for so long. All right. It says he told Boom Bust that the U.S. is heading for a recession regardless of what the Fed does with rates. They're trying to cover up something, all right, that regardless of what they do is gonna explode, man. If you have a bomb in a room, all right, but then you close the door and say, oh, everything is all good. Does closing the door mean the bomb isn't going to go off? No. What that means is that when it goes off, you're gonna get caught up in it because you're still going to be in that same building. Now, if the door was open and you saw a bomb in that room, your ass would have been gone. You would have ran out. All right, probably had a better chance of surviving. But because they closed that door so you can't see what's really going on, you can't see that bomb ticking down, that ticking time bomb ticking, you still in the building thinking everything is all good, and then when it goes off, you get caught up in it. That's what they're doing because they fear that panic. But it's getting to the point where it's inevitable. You can't hide it anymore, and then they're just gonna let it all rip. It says this isn't even a good economy. It's a bubble. Powell, the chair of the Federal Reserve, doesn't seem to understand that. He thinks the economy is doing okay. It's not. The economy today is in worse shape than it was before the collapse in 2008, said Schiff. The strategist explained that the Fed has inflated a much bigger bubble this time than it did prior to the last crash. The longer we succeed in kicking the can down the road, the greater the imbalances grow as a result of this bubble, and the more painful it is when the air comes out. Schiff, and that's why he said all hell is gonna break loose, because there is no putting it back together and piecing things. No. Once this economy collapses, that's it. That's why these elites, they're not trying to bring the dollar back. They're moving on because they know it's done. It's finished. It's a done deal. All right. That's why they're moving on to that new currency, that RFID microchip. But best believe, man, look, man, all hell is gonna break loose here. All right, and people are gonna seek answers. Okay, people are gonna be seeking answers like never before. It says Schiff, who predicted the 2008 financial crisis, or Slovakia financial crash, says the coming recession is going to be inflationary. According to him, it will be stagflation. All right, now I looked up that stagflation. It says persistent high inflation combined with high unemployment and stagnant demand in a country's economy. Okay, it says in economics, stagflation or recession dash inflation is a situation in which the inflation rate is high, the economic rate slows, and unemployment remains steadily high. It presents a dilemma for economic policy since actions intended to lower inflation may exacerbate unemployment and vice versa. All right. And during inflation, man, your money's worthless. Okay. Inflation is like somebody secretly pouring water or diluting your milk with water. Okay, constantly diluting your milk with water. Over time, you'll start to notice that you're not getting as much nutrients from the same amount of milk. You could buy 1 carton of milk and get a certain amount of nutrients from it, but as they dilute it more and more and more, now you need 2 cartons of milk to get the same amount of nutrients. Then you need 3 cartons of milk to get the same amount of nutrients that you were originally getting with 1 carton. That's inflation, and that's what they do with your money. All right. Or if you're diluting your oil or your gas with water, next thing you know, you see that the car's performance isn't the same. You know, that's basically what they do with your money. So over time, the same amount of money isn't worth the same. You know, something that you could buy for maybe $20,000, now you need $200,000 to buy it. That's what it is. Okay? So imagine that combined with high unemployment, all right, and a stagnant demand in the country's economy. It's not going to end well. Okay? So he says here, it will be a stagflation, except it's going to be recession, not just stagnation. And the inflation rate is going to be far higher than it was last time in the 1970s. All right? So hey, that's what's coming to this place, man. Now, I got a quick precept, okay? Because hey, this isn't a joke, man. This isn't a joke. Zephaniah. All right, this is Zephaniah chapter 1, verse 10. It says, "And it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord Yahweh, that there shall be a noise of a cry from the fish gate, and an howling from the second, and a great crashing from the hills." All right. Now in the scriptures, there's times when you'll see the word hills or mountains, which represent what? Governments. Okay. Let me see. See, when you go into the word gate, all right, it says in the fish gate, it's the Hebrew word is I believe that's shaira or shayar. All right, and it says here, gate of entrance, a space inside, i.e., marketplace. All right, marketplace. Okay, so let's read it. It says, "And it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord Yahweh, that there shall be a noise of a cry." A cry is not a good thing. All right, from the fish gate or the marketplace, and an howling from the second, and a great crashing from the hills, because that's what's gonna happen. All right. The modern day marketplace, all right, economically will be Wall Street, all right, which that's where the panic and the chaos really starts. Once they see the stock market doing bad, they get the first information, and then the panic spreads through the news, all right, and then you start seeing hell breaking loose, and governments crash because governments run on money, all right. That's why they have government shutdowns whenever they're not able to agree on a spending bill, because it needs money. So if there's a crash and an economic crash, or economic collapse and the money's worthless, then the government can't really function. Okay? And there's gonna be a great crashing, man. It says, how ye inhabitants of Maktish, for all the merchant people are cut down. Because how are the merchant people powerful? By their money. Now if that money is worthless, okay, then they're basically cut down. They don't have any power. Okay, they're losing their money, and that's why people are gonna be so quick to start selling off, all right, their bonds and their stocks. Okay, because they want to sell it before the value completely depletes. All right. Now, what do you think is going to happen when everybody across the world is rushing to sell off their stocks at the same time? All right. That's going to cause a influx, and it might just completely take down the whole system. So it says, all they that bear silver are cut off. All right. And then let me see. Oh, I'm going to jump down to 13. It says, therefore their goods shall become a booty. All right. And being a spoil, and their houses a desolation. They shall also build houses, but not inhabit them. They shall plant vineyards, but not drink the wine thereof. And then it keeps going into the judgment. Okay, but guess what, man? During all of that, people are gonna be rushing quick to the grocery stores. All right, to the malls everywhere, taking things. Okay, guess what? It's gonna get to a point where people are gonna come in. They're gonna be like, yo, this line is way too long. I don't have time for this. People are taking all the things. They're just gonna start grabbing things and taking them out the store. Because what are you gonna do? What are you gonna pay it with? They're gonna start taking things, rioting, looting. All right, and then when that happens, you best believe they're bringing in the martial law troops to instill that order. Okay. But basically, yeah, just going back to it, I caught that during this video. Okay, and it caught my mind, so I just wanted to bring it out through the spirit, man, because we are at that time. All right, the talking is gonna stop and the action is gonna start. Okay, so Lord willing, this is edifying to the elect. Call Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, and Shalom.